Hello Aries, welcome to Very Virgoan. I am Veronica Virgo, here to do your full moon Aries reading. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for watching. I hope I can impart some information that'll be useful to you. If you are coming back after watching your Aries reading for August, I do appreciate you coming back, and I hope I can again provide you with information that's useful for the next 2 weeks. You might notice a kitty bottom and leg right here. That's Harry. He's joined us for your readings and is imparting his wisdom to anything that I lay out. There's always kitties wherever Veronica Virgo is. Let me talk a little bit first about this deck that I'll be reading from. This is the Crow Tarot by MJ Cullinane, I do believe is how she pronounces her name. And it's a relatively new deck for me. That's why the cards are so stiff and I have to shuffle them this way. But I have known about it for some time, and I just think its artwork is so fanciful and gorgeous. And I happened to be out walking a couple nights ago, and about 4 or 5 crows, I guess that constitutes a murder, swooped down in front of me in a McDonald's parking lot, and they were just so gorgeous and big, like almost the size of ravens, and I loved them, and I took pictures of them, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to read from the Crow Tarot next, because they're telling me to do that. About the reading itself, it's a 3-card reading, past, present, and future, as far as, like, you know, the full moon to the new moon is concerned. A little bit about that, if you're not sort of hip, the waxing moon, which is the new moon to the full moon. Sorry, my cats are turning over things in another room. I think everything's all right. In the waxing phase, you are pulling things toward you, right? You're doing intentional work to expand, create, increase your prosperity. Just a moment. I'm going to have to pause for just a moment and check on my cats. No problem. They were just being divas, so I apologize for that interruption. What we're doing this reading for is from the summit of that expression of accomplishment, bringing things towards you, right, to the waning cycle. So from full moon to new moon is thinking about what you need to get rid of from your life, things that you need to let go of. How do you streamline your life so that you can be more successful in all of your plans? So keep that in mind as we do this reading, Aries, and I think I have talked enough. So one more, well, that one jumped out, so we're gonna do that one as your first one. But let me go ahead and shuffle these there. Okay, that feels better. All right, so your first card, Aries, is the 6 of Wands. Let me get it right side up there. Sorry, I'm still sort of restructuring my my presentation, so I get a little crossed up here on where I'm presenting it to when it faces the camera. 6 of Wands. Okay, so it looks like you've been sort of publicly acknowledged recently, Aries, which is really flippin' cool. You see here he's surrounded by this laurel wreath, which represents like the old times in Greece and Rome when they would acknowledge someone's like Olympians and that sort of thing. They put a laurel wreath on them. You have your acolytes down here, people who are, you know, like, wow, I wish I could be in their position. And wands often represent, you know, intellect, imagination, creativity. So my thinking is this is probably a work accomplishment, but maybe you're a performer or something like that, and you got a good write-up in a newspaper or something, but it looks like you're coming from a very good place, Aries. It's certainly to be proud of. Let's see about our current state. Strength. Oh, this is nice. This is a beautiful card. I just love the way it's illustrated. So when we look at the strength card, we're talking about, of course, we have the lion here. So bravery, focus and inner strength. I love the way that, you know, he's been crowned with these lovely flowers, and the crow is not afraid to stand on his nose where the lion could easily eat the crow, but the crow trusts in this lion's ability to control his strength, as it were. And we also see the infinity symbol here. So I don't know if you were born on the 8th or if 8 is relevant to you at this time. If you have a pet snake, or you might have a love for the Ouroboros or something like that. But if any of that is true, this is going to make this reading a little bit more significant for you, Aries. But we're talking about, you know, bravery and compassion combined. So you are being celebrated for, you know, your fiery spirit, but that you have a certain level of gentility that undergirds that. It's really beautiful. I'm loving this reading, Aries. Ace of Swords. Well, we knew it had to take a little bit of a dip. And this isn't actually it's actually a good card. It's just that swords sometimes can kind of prevent you with a, you know, maybe not the best of attitudes or things like that. But in this case, it's actually representing a sharpness of mind, clarity, intellect. So I'm thinking in terms of like, okay, so these are ideas or creations, right? This is more like intellect and thought, ideas, attitudes, that sort of thing. So maybe like through being celebrated and appreciated for the fire and the spirit that you bring, this richness of thought or creation or whatever, it's sharpening your approach to life. Like it's only up from here, right? Now, the only downside of this card is that sometimes we can, you know, if we have some sort of breakthrough where we're being celebrated, sometimes we can get a little high-minded and think that only we know the way. Like, look at this laurel wreath that you will be great, and now you're breaking through, right? So you're breaking through, but be afraid that you don't break your responsibilities to these people down here, and that you don't, honestly, the best way I could put it, Aries, is thinking your shit don't stink. Right? It's a beautiful reading, but just be mindful of not buying in too much to all the accolades for yourself. Not to say that you shouldn't have a high opinion of yourself. You absolutely should, and you should celebrate these rewards that you've been given, this deference of attitude that people are giving you. Just make sure that you think of it with clarity of mind, and that you stay on the path to success without hubris. That's the word I'm looking for. But this is, wow, what a great friggin' reading. My goodness. Let's take a look at what sort of spell you might cast that could help you sort of cement this and maybe let go of things that you need to let go of. Willpower. Interesting. So if your name is Will or William, this is also very significant to you, Aries. So considering this in terms of that, it's like, wow, who has more willpower in the animal kingdom than a big cat, right? I mean, they are an apex predator, and they have great will and they have great power. So while you're stepping into that, again, just be mindful that you're not imposing your will onto other people too heavily. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So maybe just let go a little bit of your tendency to control. Let's go ahead and read the accompanying spell for this. So magical meanings for this card for willpower: an addiction is out of control. Seek professional help. Consider healthy eating and exercise. Don't give in. Determination will see you through. You're nearly there. So with that having been said, I'm wondering if maybe you aren't celebrating a little too much your successes, and maybe you are imbibing of one substance or another a little too much, Aries. Camera keeps focusing in and out. So be mindful of that if that is a possible weakness in you. Here's your spell. Write your temptations on separate pieces of paper and put them in an empty bottle. Light a black candle on a Tuesday at dusk during a dark moon and say, giving way to strong temptation could result in altercation. Stop. Ignore that urge to itch. Impulsive inclination ditch. Go within and call on strength. Determination grows in length. Paper put in bottle sealed, with black candle, craving healed. Let the flame burn down the hour, harnessing required willpower. Place the candle in the neck of the bottle and let it burn for an hour. Now say, gratefully I accept the magic view of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be. So, when I said that at the beginning, I was like, well, I knew there had to be something take a downturn. I think for some of you, there is an issue of addiction in the past. If your name is Rose, also, Aries, this is important to you. Anything with Rose in your name, middle name or Rosalia or anything like that. Celebrate your victories. Oh my God, we don't have enough of those, So celebrate those victories. Celebrate people, giving you parties. But be mindful you don't drink too much and then say something you'll regret. Close that lion's mouth so you protect the crow. You feel me? All right, that's lovely. Now let's just do a couple of tarot dice to round it out. I keep knocking out 5. It's just a 5 kind of tarot die day. All right. Oh, that's kind of cool. It hit my hexagonal amethyst. It must have needed a friend. Maybe you have a Pisces in your circle that you like and you want to be close to. All right, we have Scorpio. We have, I always forget this one. Let me just look at it real quick. We have Uranus. We have a 3, a 2, and a 9. Okay, so back to the Pisces. You might be in love or in lust or in like with a Pisces who is born on February 9th. Actually, that would still be an Aquarius. So March 2nd or March 9th, Pisces. And you might be 23, you might be 32, you might be 29, or you might be 39. And I may have someone in their 90s watching this, so I don't want to leave you out, 93 or 92. So if any of those numbers are significant for you, I think it's pointing more to Pisces, quite honestly. Someone with a March birthday that's in your circle that you care about making an impression on. So these notes should be taken also to think about how you are toward someone you care about, how they view you. As for the Scorpio, I think that's more about you. I think that you have like a Scorpio moon or maybe a Scorpio Mars. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling there. And with Uranus, my apologies, this is Pluto. Apologies for the error. With Pluto, we're talking about transformation and power. So I put that on the Strength card to signify the personal power that you have right now, Aries, in this situation. Be as strong as the lion, but be as gentle as this lion who's balancing the crow. Think about it as a transformative kind of power. Think about someone like, and you may or may not like him, but think about someone like Tony Robbins, who is this like 6'5" man who has this like huge booming voice that's also scratchy, and it's kind of like, it's like, he's like a giant. I don't know what his sign is, but he feels to me like a Leo. And think about how like, he started out his life kind of being like the guy that sold things. Well, not kind of, he was the guy who sold things on late night television. But then he has grown over the years into a true change maker. And he has these huge like free summits where he'll bring people in. And ultimately, yes, he's still selling, don't get me wrong. But he's turned his attitude of selling into service. And I'm not trying to sell you on Tony Robbins. I'm just thinking he came to mind because I watched one of his live things lately. So he's turned his strength and power and all of his bombast into a way that he can be of service. So that's how I want you to see stepping into your power, Aries. Your willpower should be, I'm looking for the right word, gentle strength. Strength with purpose, strength of service. Because they're awarding you these accolades, excuse me, because you made them feel something. You made them feel something. And that's why, you know, bonding with this Pisces that's on your mind could be good for you. Maybe this is the Pisces that you're balancing. They help keep your strength in check, and it works like a circle. You know, y'all keep coming back around to each other. I'm getting so much stuff all at once. I hope that it's not too confusing. But Aries, I love this reading. Congratulations on any awards or any accolades that you've gotten. And hopefully this will take you into the new cycle, ready to emerge even stronger of personality and skill. All right, we'll see you on the new moon.